If you are looking to move forward in your life towards your authentic dreams without sacrificing your emotional health, your nervous system, your relationships, or your spiritual health, well, you are in good company. I'm so glad you're here. I'm Courtney Lancaster, and this is a safe space for creatives. This is the Heal Create podcast. Welcome to another episode of the Heal Create podcast. I am so glad you're here, and I have to be honest with you right off the bat. There is a mosquito in this room, and he is magnetized to me and to who I am. And if you hear it around the microphone, just know that I tried. I know that that's really annoying. It is to me, actually, just the buzzing, that like constant buzzing near your ears. So anyways, we're just going to let it be, and we're going to make it through this. I'm excited because today is the day that I am launching my daily practice design guide. And if you follow me at all, then you know I've been talking about this for a while, and not just this product that I created for you guys, but the reasons why I created this product. And so I want to go into what this is, but first I want to talk about just some background, how I got to this point and deciding that I wanted to create this. And basically, I have the privilege of kind of having my finger on the pulse of younger generations, because that's who I serve mostly, 20s and 30-somethings. I honestly don't even know what they call that generation, or if those are two different generations. I don't know. People younger than me. I'm in my 40s. I'm 41. So, this mosquito. So, it's so interesting to me because I think that what sets apart the younger generations, especially in the Western world, is the amount of freedom that they actually, or potential freedom that they actually have, that our ancestors, I think so many of our ancestors have fought for. We know that we are not limited by our, our race, our region, our orientation, our religion. We're not limited by what our parents expect of us. We're not limited by the financial situation that we were raised in. Like there are so many options. We're not limited by our age. I mean, young or old. And this is really exciting. I mean, social media at its best is an opportunity to see how many options there are available to us. Like how else would we know what else is out there unless we saw it? Actually, the brain needs to see something is true and real to believe that it's possible. So social media at its best, the thing that, so many younger generations are building lives on is one of the biggest reasons why so many people feel excited about the future that they can potentially build. It's one of our main sources of inspiration these days. Inspiration is, the thing that calls us to create something new that's in alignment with what lights us up and with who we are. The downside of that, obviously, there are a lot of downsides of seeing so many options. That's actually technically a reason why your nervous system might freeze, is because too many options equals less satisfaction, ironically. So we want to know what to do with all of this inspiration, all of these options, combined with the fact that, well, I think we all know enough now to know that we're all affected in one way or another by limiting beliefs or unhelpful childhoods, or another way to say that would be trauma, especially post-2020. So many of us have so much unresolved pain that we don't know what to do with. And so it can be really discouraging, actually, to have the amount of freedom that you have while living in a body that is shut down or anxious or just locked up in self-protective mechanisms. And so the people that I get to work with are ones that have big dreams, and ones that, people who really do not only want to create a life that lights them up, a life that's in alignment, but also want to create a life that serves other people, that serves the world. And so it is really exciting to support them. And I see kind of the same patterns show up over and over again with procrastination, with, like I said, anxiety and depression, of course, and just this general confusion that comes with feeling like you you know what you hope for, you know what you hope happens, but you don't know how to move towards it. So that has always been a very driving factor in how I encourage people around me and how I empower them. Because honestly, it was how I was empowered and encouraged. It was how I was supported to come out of my own dark seasons of depression, anxiety. And nothing is, well, not nothing, but it is a very particular, heavy and despairing feeling to be a very passionate creative that feels very stuck. And so if you're in that place, you need to know that that can absolutely be temporary. It's super, super common, but I understand that it is so frustrating. And that's why I wanted to create this for you guys. I've had the opportunity it feels like the last week or two to hear a few different stories from people that I coach, some from people that are in my family that have had major wins in their lives. And it's been really exciting to see the fruit of the consistency that they've gone after the last few years, and just the perfect timing of their dreams being realized. And so I was talking to two of them in particular and kind of asking, like, just because I have created this support guide, asking them, like, what were the things that you noticed in your journey? What was the hardest thing for you? What helped you the most? And I was talking to someone in particular. Actually, I haven't asked permission to share their details, so I'll just keep it general for now, although I'm sure they wouldn't mind. But they basically created this something that is a very, very much of something that's a real need, but also a real exciting, creative passion of hers. And I was able to ask them what helped them the most. And they said, healing what was in the way. And we talked about how they had these limiting beliefs around, mostly the limiting beliefs around thinking that the dreams that they had to happen in this very specific, particular way, which is such a hang up for creatives because we are so visionary. We have such powerful imaginations, but we start to think that the things that light us up are like, they have to happen in the detail that we imagine them happening, which is such a setup for disappointment. Because the truth is, like, I think the way that, like, our lives unfold and the way that God calls us forward, like, there are so many ways that your particular dreams can come true. And so this person that I was talking to was talking about how, like, actually letting go of the how is this going to happen, of the what, on some of the details of how this passion of theirs was going to happen, was exactly what caused them to need to heal their fear of surrender and their trust issues. And it was the exact thing that led them to step into the perfect thing for them. And it's been so beautiful to watch it unfold. It would be really cool to share their story, actually, because they're impacting so many people now and they are just so perfectly in their calling. Like, in their gifts and in their desire and in their passion. And that is what I think God has for every single one of us, because the beautiful thing about it is you fully alive is what signals to other nervous systems safety, but what signals to other humans potential and hope and inspiration and encouragement, the things that they're the things that are all signs of well-being in a human being. So they call forth safety and healing in other humans, and they make the world a better place. And I know that there are people in my life that would probably think, that I was, I don't know, wishful thinking, that this is just sort of this pie in the sky kind of rainbows and butterflies way to think about the world. And I don't freaking care, because not only do I deeply believe that to the core of who I am, I have experienced it. I have experienced what it feels like for my life to feel so small, where like getting out of bed was a win. And I have experienced moving through that and coming to a place where the work that I'm doing gets to impact those that feel called to it. And it's more and more people all the time, while I simultaneously feel lighter and more in alignment every single day as well. And you'll just never convince me otherwise, that that's not God's plan to make the world a better place, as people in their actual callings and stepping through the doors that he opens. And so watching people go through that, and especially the few clients that I've worked with for like a couple years, and just really going through, some of the harder places with them, and then seeing the fruit of what that showing up for themselves daily actually looks like, is just basically convinced me that I will do this for the rest of my life in one way or another. And also that the showing up for yourself daily works. It works. And anytime I see some kind of Instagram post from like another life coach, that this mosquito, if you're watching the video, this mosquito is getting in my face. Anytime I see these like posts about, you need to take bold action and bold steps forward, and you need to just jump off a cliff, and all of this big language around going after your dreams. Oh man, did that hook me back in the day. And I did. I moved my whole family to pursue a dream, and fell apart so hard, because the nervous system, if you have unresolved pain like I did, if you have anxiety, if you have, freeze, shutdown, depression, big giant steps are going to be big giant threats to your nervous system. And they're not actually going to help you if you don't have the capacity. They're just going to burn you out. You're going to crash. And crashing will take you back to the beginning. My dad always likes to say, whenever I'm driving, to him somewhere, he's always likes to say, arrive alive. One of my best friend's dad was a firefighter, and he would say, better be late than dead. It's very dramatic, but the same is true for you in your journey. The truth is, first of all, there's no such thing as late. That's an illusion. But the shortcut that you're looking for is actually the small daily steps towards your dream. And the steps towards your dream also often looks like steps towards healing your nervous system, strengthening your body, and resolving your emotions, as well as taking small aligned actions towards your goals. So that's exactly what this daily practice design guide is. And it's such a mouthful. I need to come up with a shorter, quick way to say that. Daily practice DPDG. No, I'm just going to say, okay. The daily practice design guide is a system that helps you design your perfect rhythm. I say perfect as in perfect for you, not perfect as in good or bad perfection. Perfect for you rhythm that will help move you forward, heal what's in the way of the things that you want to create, and actually step you towards the things that you want to create. And if you know me, or if you followed me, you know that I don't believe you should start any journey without having a clear picture of where you want to go. Now, I said earlier that like white knuckling exactly what you want to happen in order to feel okay is not what I mean. I mean, how do you want to feel in your life? What are your passions? What are your gifts that you want to express in your life? And getting really, really clear on your identity and what you want to see happen is essential for creating a daily practice that is intentional and in alignment with who you are. So this daily practice guide starts with this meditation that I walk you through, where we talk about the 10 different areas of your life and what are 10 things you'd like to say are true about your life 10 years from now. It's like that question changed my life. Honestly, and I know things are different now even than they were 6 or 7 years ago when I read this question, but or maybe longer than that. But I didn't know that you could design your own life. I genuinely did not know that if something wasn't for you or something was out of whack, that you could either heal it or change it. I didn't know that. I was just holding on for dear life, hoping that things would work out, and then wishing for someone to rescue me most of the time. That question changed my life, and I designed this meditation around that idea, but going into a ton of detail so that you can get a very clear visualization of what your life could be like. A couple things I want to say about that. If you've heard of subconscious reprogramming, some people call it like meditation. Some people call it hypnosis. It's not woo-woo. It's not weird. The science behind it is when you are relaxed enough and you close your eyes, your imagination is your most powerful tool for showing your nervous system that something is safe. It's plain and simple. We have to see something is true in order to know that it's safe for us to go there. And your brain actually doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imagined, which is wild to me. But it's why your imagination is your most powerful healing tool. I mean, I went to some of the most incredibly talented and gifted trauma therapists in the world and learned. I either saw them one-on-one or I learned from them, and all of them invite you to use your imagination to heal. There's no other way. We want to, speak the language of our body, of course, which, I talk about a lot. We want to make sure that we know how to practically do the things to help our bodies feel safer. But even that, you end up using your imagination so much just to imagine safety and imagine love. But trauma resolution is you're creating new memories, but you're also creating memories of the future in a weird way, which, your nervous system's like, oh, I can do that. I've already been there in your mind. And that's what this visualization is just inviting you to relax and inviting you to spend some time. I think it's like 20 minutes long or 15 minutes long, and really ground into what you want to create. And from there, we're going to get more specific. We have some journal prompts around that to help you ground in even more. And then you get to pick habits from an extensive list that will help you move towards that. And we have 4 pillars that we're going to be picking habits from. So that means you're going to be potentially picking 4 habits to commit to. And I just ask that you commit to them for 1 week before you adjust them, add to them, take away, whatever. And the 4 pillars are your spiritual health, which spiritual health is your connection to a force of love greater than you. If you know me, you know that I practice Christianity, and even post deconstruction, reconstruction, the wrestle with it, the relationship within it is what always grows me and expands me personally. But spiritual health it's settled science that is a marker for human well-being. And so connecting to a force of love that's greater than you, that's personal, and that loves you. And that's what I call God. And so spiritual health is essential, and that can be very, very small things, just connecting to helping your body learn how to trust the process and connect into a personalized sense of love. There are a bunch of different habits to choose from on that pillar. There's a pillar for your emotional health, and that's going to help you resolve your emotions as they happen and emotions from the past, if that's what you're needing and you find trickiest. And so there are a lot of ways to be with your emotions and to productively process them in a way that doesn't just re-traumatize you, that's not just cathartic, but that is actually like resolving them. There are a lot of habits under that pillar to choose from. And then we have nervous system health. Nervous system health is essential. Nervous system regulation. I think we all know that by now. If you don't, I have a lot of episodes around that, or you can check out Deb Dana or Peter Levine or Sarah Baldwin's work. But basically, your nervous system is your threat detector in your body. And it is, you are experiencing every single moment based on how safe or in danger you feel. And so if you learn how to help your body feel a little bit safer every single day, and you just do one thing, even just one thing to help your body feel more present and here, and you send a signal of safety to your body every single day, those signals build on each other and they increase your capacity for, well, technically for stress, to know that you can handle the stress of stepping into your dreams, because ironically, it is stressful to step into even good things. If they're new, they're different from what you know, if they're bigger than what you've known. And so nervous system regulation is another pillar that's essential. And then finally, we have the fourth pillar, which is goals. Your goals and your dreams. We want to figure out what is an aligned step that you can take every single day to move towards your goals and your dreams. For me, something that I've always wanted to do is music. And a lot of you guys know that and have been on that journey with me. And music and singing and songwriting. And so for a long time, it was 20 minutes a day at my piano. Right now, we're working on a bunch of like video projects. And so every single day I'm spending time practicing for the next video project that we have, going through all the details and logistics for that. And that is like that for me, my habit in that area is a timed habit. For a lot of other creatives, like there's somebody that I know that's writing a book. Every single day she sits down for 30 minutes and she adds to her book. And sometimes she just sits there and she just puts her fingers on the keys and not much comes out. Sometimes she gets so caught up in it, she ends up spending like an hour there. But the point is that she sits down and does it every day. For other people, it could be posting every single day. For maybe someone else, it could be reading a book about a skill you want to learn for your goals and dreams, reading a chapter a day, or 20 minutes reading a day or whatever. So that is the fourth pillar. We have a habit tracker, which helps you keep track of what you've done, and then prompts at the end to help you figure out what worked, what didn't, after you've committed to the 7 days. So I'm really proud of this product. It's only $37. It's like something that I just want as many people to have as possible. I'm really, really proud of it. And I have no problem selling this. I have no problem sounding salesy. I have no problem at all, because this is it, you guys. This is what works. This is the path forward. The slow way, it feels slow, especially if you're a wild creative, if you're just a really excited, passionate creative with high highs and low lows. Daily consistent steps sound so boring. And they are the shortcut you're looking for. The slow way is the fast way. There is no other way. And that's what I want to set you up to do. I really want to set you up to win. And I remember Rachel Hollis was talking about this in that same book that I got the 10 things in 10 years question from. And this was a book that I read years ago, but she was talking about how if you want to climb a mountain, if you're hiking a mountain and you're only looking at the top, it's so frustrating. It feels like it's taking forever. But if you just focus on taking one step at a time, pretty soon you'll look back behind you and you'll be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe how far I've come. And that is so exciting. It's so exciting. It's so worth it. And that is exactly what I want you to do. I think you deserve to live a life that truly lights you up. And I don't want you to be sold on this idea that you're not taking bold enough steps or that you don't want it enough. That's ridiculous. Of course you do. I also don't want you to be sold on this idea that you don't know who you are, because you do. You really, really do. It's in there. So If you have any questions, you can find me at Courtney Lan on Instagram. You can email me at courtneyandhart@gmail.com. And I answer every single message, and I love hearing from you guys. So just so you know, I love you so much. I want you to win. And if you need the support, go ahead and download the Daily Practice Design Guide. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next week.